Training, we're going to review how to dispute an invoice, how to send an email, and how to send an email with attachments. We will then review both notes and notes on the account level. In order to dispute an invoice, we have to pull up the customer's account and find the invoice that we want to dispute. So in the search bar here, I'm going to pull up a customer's account. Let's see. And I need to click the checkbox next to the invoice that we want to dispute and select New Activity. I next need to change the activity type to the dispute. So here we have our activity type as dispute. We want to make sure that from here we click on the dispute button right here so that we know that the invoice is in dispute. And then we'll select a reason code. Reason codes are just brief description as to why the customer is disputing the invoice. So here are all of the different dispute reasons. We'll say that they're disputing it because of pricing. Here, if we want to click on the invoice number, we can see the invoice, we can see that it is in dispute. If we want to add any additional notes to the dispute, we can put our notes in here. I'm going to close this out. And from there, the last thing that we can do is we can exclude this selected invoice from aging if we want to, which will remove them from the aging brackets. So let's go ahead. If we want to exclude it, we'll exclude them from aging. And then we'll hit save. We can see here that there is a dispute that we just created. Right here we can see a disputed invoice that's been tagged. And if we go to Inquiries by User, Invoices, and select In Dispute, we can then see here as well all of our invoices that are currently in a dispute. Next, we're going to review how to send an email. So I'm going to go back to this customer's account by selecting the Overview tab. And I'm going to be sending an email in regards to this invoice here. So I want to select the invoice that I want to communicate with the customer about and click the New Activity. I'm going to change my activity type to Email Send. Then I want to click on the To button here. This is going to populate all of the contacts' email addresses that are associated with this particular customer. So I'll select the customer that I want to send the email to. And then from there, I could just type the body of the email in here. But maybe I want to go in and attach the invoice that I tagged onto the email that I'm sending. In order for me to do that, I must go to Attachments and select Attach Tagged Invoices. So this is the invoice that we tagged in the previous screen, and now all we're doing is we are including it as an attachment, so when the customer receives the email, they have a copy of this invoice in the email. We also have the ability to add additional reports to an email. So here, if we want to send the customer their statement, we could select Statement and pull up that report and attach that report, and that would include the statement to send to the customer. The last thing is we'll also be able to browse your device and attach any documents that you have saved on your device. So I could hit browse and I could select different documents that I want to send to the customer. From there, I'm going to want to go back to the email, type in a subject, and then type in the body of the email. From there, I would hit save and send, and that is going to send the email to the customer. I can scroll down here. I can see that I have created a dispute for this customer, which we did previously, and then I also just sent the customer an email. I can see by hovering over here that there's attachments associated with this email, that there is a tagged invoice, and that invoice is in a dispute. If I want to send the customer an email that doesn't have anything to do with an invoice, I can simply select New Activity right here or New Activity right here. These both will take us to the activity page. So I'll click on this one here. And we can see that it's going to pull up the activity page. We want to change the activity type to send email. We want to select who we're sending it to. We can also CC anyone if you just want to type in an email address as an additional contact to send this to. You could type in your another email address in here. I would put in a subject of the email, and then of course I could put in here the body. And again, hit save and send. So this is just sending a regular email without any attachments or invoices associated with it. Last but not least, we're going to review how to take a note and then also how to take an account note. So notes can be created as activities. So if I create a new activity, if we remember, I can select this button here, or I can select this one here. I'll use this one, so new activity. It says note right here. We'll name the issue test note. Typically we associate an invoice with a note, but maybe you're taking a note about something else. So here we're just taking a note, and from there, if you remember, we could also associate a follow-up with it if we needed to, but in this case we are just taking a note without a follow-up associated with it, so we'll hit save. And you can see here that we have created a test note. If we hover over the notes section here, we can see what's in the body of the note. The other place where you can take a note is going to be down here. And this is what we call account note. This is a note that lives on the customer level of an account. If I select add note, these are really for general purposes or general notes on a customer. So example, the customer is closed on Wednesday, or only ask for Sally when calling about invoices. From there, we'll hit OK. And we can see the account note has been saved here. Again, very general purposes. Thank you.